Hello, good day. Today I'm going to be speaking about something or a sort of conversation I've had with people in the so-called developed economies in the Western world, those of African origin, especially, who have relatives and friends who are still resident in Africa. They get to complain a lot of the time when we are discussing that those in Africa get to be quite demanding, asking for financial help, and that they have entitlement mentality. It is as though they don't know when to stop or pause or match the brakes, right? They're always asking and asking and asking for one financial favor or the other. And so they feel very annoyed, very vexed. And sometimes they even assert that these folks don't even ask them of their well-being, like how are they doing, how are their kids, and all that. But sometimes, now this is me playing, do I call it devil's advocate? Those in Africa that are going through actual hell and high waters, sometimes you could be in your kitchen and you could see your gas burning, like the gas is on, so you think that that's hell. That's nothing compared to the inferno that Africans are seeing, especially those of little means, right? And so sometimes it's kind of absurd when these guys ask that those in Africa, their friends and family, don't even get to bother asking them how they are doing. Now, also, I will play devil's advocate on this other part. Actually, stress or challenges are actually relative. So, to the guy who has his breakfast on a cable car, believes that people don't care that he's actually at a particular height and it's moving, and he doesn't have the time to be eating and be watching, the landscape he's supposed to be seeing, and that's a huge challenge to him. So, in terms of percentage, it may be stressful to him. And so he's wondering why those that have not eaten in Africa are asking him about financial stuff without asking how he's doing in the cable car where he's eating every morning, right? Now, of course, this is not to paint a narrative that Africans are usually in poverty. Actually, there's a lot of flourishing folks here. In fact, sometimes most of the big folks stay back here. The richest man in Africa, I think he's the richest black man on earth even. He's based in Nigeria. What I'm trying to say is those in the diaspora should probably rethink their complaints about those here having entitlement mentality. And why I'm saying this is there are errands that these folks in Africa get to do for them. Okay, so let me say, even while they are here, sometimes when they are visiting or even before they left, these folks get to do a lot of things that they in the diaspora could not even pay for. And if you equate the amount of work that these folks in Africa, whether their friends or families, do for them, if you equate it to the equivalent pay in the diaspora, whether it's in the US or in the UK or in Australia, wherever it is that is so-called developed, you'll find out that it could run in hundreds of pounds, hundreds of dollars, or hundreds of euros. And sometimes they don't know that they are feeling entitled to these folks, their manpower, right? But because people get triggered by the mention of finances, they easily believe that they are entitled to being angry. Meanwhile, these folks run to the village, drive to the villages, do all manner of menial jobs, month in, month out, year in, year out, day in, day out. The equivalent of a 1 day's tedious job like that would probably amount to $100 per day. And do you know that even house helps here in Africa, probably, I'm using Nigeria now in particularly, probably earn about 30,000 naira per month. Now 30,000 naira should be about what? I'll convert it to dollars on the screen later on. But the point is, it's crazy how these folks get to feel that they are in a position of advantage financially. Now, these other folks are in a position of advantage in terms of labor, but they don't want to understand that while they make a lot of demands, labor demands on these folks equally feel entitled to make financial demands on them. So sometimes when they give maybe $50 to them, they will feel that that is enough for them. But meanwhile, the amount of labor and work and stress that these folks have been going through for them is way more than thousands of dollars. And even though those folks don't even know that they are doing work worth thousands of dollars, I mean, from babysitting to dog walking to anything you could think of, even though they don't need value, somehow humans, we are spirits, so we sort of know that there's something missing in this equation. I think that those in the diaspora who feel that they're enlightened and more exposed should actually sit back and wonder how enlightened they actually are, or how exposed they actually are. Or are they just trying to be biased? Are they just trying to be unfair? What do you think? Thank you.